Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you, tuning into the day's energies, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. I'd like to invite you to the next healing class that's starting on October 6th. This is an intro class. It can be taken standalone on its own or as an intro into the psychic school that I've opened. So the healing class, it's 4 weeks, starts on October 6th through the 27th. So it's Mondays, 4 to 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's online. So 2 hours. This isn't a lecture. This isn't something that you can listen to and do something else. You have to be there, participate, communicate. There's a lot of small lectures, and then we go into guided meditation. So you've got to have the space to meditate. And then you go out into breakout rooms and you communicate and talk with and share with your fellow students. So you will learn energetic protection. Day 1, I will show you how to get everybody out of your energy, how to set up your own energy so you'll figure out what's yours and what's not yours, and how to move energy, how to create energy and destroy energies. You'll learn how to set up your own energy and also energetic separations, clearing energetic cords. What else do you learn? Right away from day 1, you're matched with your own divinely matched psychic surgeon and healing master. So you start learning how to heal your own energy right away. So if that sounds interesting to you, there's a link in the description box. I'll put a link so you can figure out if that sounds like something you would like to do, something you'd like to be a part of. This is the 3rd class, and this class is offered every other month. So if you don't have the time right now, maybe for December. So, all right, let's get going. Let's get to your reading. Thank you. Start with that. Okay. The overall energy of today's reading is the 9 of Swords. This is really stuck in a comfort zone. Here she is in bed, so there's some level of comfort, but there's all this pain, a lot in your upper chakras, a lot of fears, overthinking, too afraid to do something different. I've been in the 9 of Swords. It's a sticky energy. When I stayed in it, in this comfort zone for a long time, then it felt like these swords multiplied very quickly. I was in so much pain, but the choices that I needed to make to get out of that comfort zone felt too hard to make, too difficult. And so I would just stay because it's painful. It's like Groundhog's Day. You just keep waking up in this comfort zone, stuck, unable to make moves, too terrified to make the moves to get out of that space. But you know what to expect. A lot of pain, a lot of discomfort. All right. What does the viewer need to know about this 9 of Swords? Why is the 9 of Swords coming out as the overall energy? Strength card. Inner demons. Learning to face your fears and create confidence. So that was the byproduct of me getting out of my 9 of Swords, was strength. I found out what I'm made of when I started facing my fears, instead of allowing my fears to keep me stuck. Anything else in the overall energy that would help the viewer understand? Hierophant coming out as a challenge. Some contract, some tradition is keeping you in a comfort zone. So if this is like a work contract, I've got 6 more months on that. I'm stuck here. There's nothing I can do. Something like that. Or if this is, if the Hierophant is like a marriage contract, stuck in a painful situation. Maybe it's a comfort zone relationship. There's some comfort, but it's just painful. It's not what you expect. All right, let's move on. Very interesting. All right, in Hidden Blessings, we have the King of Wands in reverse. This is someone insecure, unable to make moves, doesn't know how to go take action towards what they desire, too afraid to make something work. All right. 3 of Cups reversed, 2 of Cups, Lovers reversed. Okay. And this is in the Hidden Blessing. So whatever this is, it feels like it's happening for you. 3 of Cups reverse, it feels like there's no support here. There's no celebration of you. Wow. I mean, a lot of maybe even triangulation here. Someone's insecure, unable to make moves. There's this 2 of Cups here, but with the Lovers in reverse, it feels like maybe there once was love here. There was a connection. Maybe that's the comfort zone. Like, well, there was at some point. Maybe the comfort is the past. It feels like making different choices is the hidden blessing. But it doesn't matter what the story is. It doesn't look like the energy's here now. So if it was in the past, the King of Wands in reverse doesn't feel like your energy, viewer. Feels like there's someone you're connected with who's just too scared to make any type of real moves. They don't take any action. They've got a lot of insecurities. It feels like they're backed up by a toxic group. It feels like this person, the King of Wands in reverse, is kind of going into toxic groups. Maybe triangulating. There's some illusion here that everything's fine, but they're not acting like everything's fine. Something's not correct. Yeah, 9 of Wands. You're protecting yourself. You're protected. Maybe you're exhausted from having to protect yourself from someone who's supposed to be on your side. But it looks like they're going to other people. There's a lack of inner discernment here. Ooh, boy, okay. With the Queen of Swords in reverse. 4 of Cups reverse. It doesn't feel like anybody's really... It feels like whatever there was has long sailed away. Knight of Pentacles, Tower, King of Pentacles. There's no action here, no movement. It feels like everybody's stuck. The Tower's coming. That feels like the hidden blessing. The Tower is clearing away this false illusion. Whatever illusions or limitations that are keeping you cleaving to someone who doesn't take action, someone who's insecure, someone who it doesn't feel like this person's communicating with you. They just communicate any problems they have with everyone else, which makes it really hard. I bet at the beginning of getting to know this person, you're like, this is great. We never fight. Disagreements are part of growth. This feels like this person never fights because they never communicate. They don't know how to. They're just operating off of a very insecure model. And so they go to everyone else. So everyone else knows you beeswax, your business. And instead of this person communicating with you, I get the feeling they perceive that you don't have inner discernment. And maybe you didn't, or at times you can't. It doesn't feel like you can see this person clearly. Maybe because they're in your energy. And there's just nothing happening with this person. There's no growth. And it looks like when the Tower happens for you, this is the hidden blessing, that it allows you to focus on what you would prefer in a direction that is available, that creates stability, abundance. Feels like once that Tower happens, it's really fast. Okay. Some of the fastest Eight of Wands, Knight of Swords energy. Okay, so after the collapse, after the false reality collapses, then it looks like there's this focus that you have on stability, security, and moving on, looking at kind of turning your back on where you've been and focusing on the future. Things really happen quickly after that Tower. And it looks like you take the lead. Lead yourself out of this. Lead yourself. That's where you get this strength. Getting out of this comfort zone. And I get the feeling that this person is trying to create blocks. Trying to make it so you can't. With Magician reversed, Ace of Cups reversed. Feels like they're going to try to block your blessings, try to block your flow state, try to block love coming into your experience. It has been my experience that people who try to manifest for others, it only works unless you agree that they have more power, unless you agree to the manifestation, unless you agree to the story. That's why voodoo dolls weren't hidden, but they would be placed on the person's front porch or wherever, because the energy, those projections, curses, don't work unless the other person starts co-creating with their own fear and allowing that to work. So it feels like someone's very upset that you're seeing something differently, big clarity coming in, and that you turn your focus elsewhere. You lead yourself very quickly out of this energy. Hidden blessing. All right. What you're leaving behind is the King of Pentacles. That's interesting because was the energy it looked like you were embodying. Stability, focusing on your future, focusing on what you want to create. You're leaving behind a lot of confusion and a lot of unhappiness. Maybe you've been chronically depressed. There's a lot of this masculine energy, action, outward action, creating your stability, going after what you desire. It looks like you're protected. It looks like someone's doesn't want you to leave without a fight. 5 of Wands, 10 of Swords reversed. Yeah, I get that feeling. Someone is very unhappy that you have this new perception. Doesn't matter what the contract is. It looks like you're getting out of this, whatever it is, facing your fears. You have the strength to do this, to lead yourself out of this. And it's a lot of masculine energy. Feels like a lot of action. And you're leaving behind having to fight, and this 10 of Swords, communication, brutal communication, someone who's fighting. It feels like this has been very confusing, very upsetting. Might have caused a lot of unhappiness, disappointment, upset, chronic depression, trying to figure this out. But you're leaving that behind you. And it looks like the way you leave that behind you is by taking action in a different direction toward being courageous, creating stability for yourself. All right, another masculine card coming out. The King of Cups coming out with how to get the most of this energy, being emotionally mature. The King of Cups is usually depicted in rough water, choppy water, and yet he's solid on his throne. It's not because he doesn't understand emotions or utilize them. He's explored his emotions in a deep and profound way, and so he has a high emotional EQ. He understands how to work with emotions. He's met himself in very deep and profound ways, and so he also understands other people's emotions. It's hard to get this guy upset because of his maturity and deep understanding. It feels like whoever this is, it's not about gender, but around the energies, that you are stepping into your masculine energy, an emperor taking the lead and making changes in the outside world, in your world. Queen's feminine energy is more internal, as I perceive, and these are external. So how to get the most of this is being mature. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. A lack of resources. So you might be dealing with not having a lot of resources on your side, at least to begin with. You might have some needs to figure out how to get your resources, how to get the stability. So this reminds me of when you're needy, you can't be nasty. If you're really needy and you're also nasty and entitled, and no one really wants to help you. There's something about being emotionally mature and getting your needs met, finding the resources, not demanding, and figuring out how to get your resources, how to find your stability. Your stability is not someone else's problem to fix. And it looks like just being mature while you're figuring out your resources is helpful. Not being nasty and needy. All right. What's supporting you is the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Not doing all the work. This is my card for a group project where one person's doing all the work and the other people are kind of coasting. Maybe changing jobs, working with different people. Definitely feels like you're leaving some comfort zone, being willing, you're seeing something very differently, and making moves off of that realization, that sudden realization. Yeah, so it looks like you separate, leave an environment, leave someone, and there's an invitation to reimagine your life and get back out there. But it feels like first there's this, you've got the whole world at your hands here. You're just detaching from this toxic energy, processing through grief and disappointment. In the Five of Cups, the story is that this person has lost the taste for wine. They can't drink it anymore. They don't like it, but they're missing when they were able to drink wine. They don't even want wine anymore, but they're missing something they don't even want back. And I feel like it feels like you, at least once you have this sudden realization. There's a lot of disappointment here, but it feels like you've been stuck in a comfort zone for a while and feeling that there's some type of contract that's keeping you stuck in this position. Yeah, work through those disappointments. Focus on what you can control and focus on what you do have. When I've been in kind of the darkest places, I started practicing appreciation. And so what do I have? Well, all right. I've got nothing for it. Is that true? I still have breath in me. I'm still here. So I must be ready to learn something. Still available. I've got water. I've got a roof over my head. I have electricity. I have a comfortable bed that I love so much. And I love my pillow too. I've got my birds. I've got the seeds. So just start. Part of what I do in my appreciation practice, before I start doing these readings, I walk around the house and clear the energy and appreciate everything. Appreciate the technology that allows me to be independent, that allows me to connect with so many wonderful people. I love that we've got the technology. I love that I've got the light. I love the tarot. It's been so much fun learning tarot and doing these readings. I love my coffee. Oh, I love my coffee. I love my water. I love my setup here. I love all my tarot decks. You can just start appreciating. Once I start, then I start looking through the lens and everything is something to appreciate. So what's supporting you is detaching from what doesn't work, working through your disappointment and upset and those emotions, and reimagining yourself in your life and getting back out there. All right. What to be mindful of is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, showing up again. The lack of resources, lack of abundance, lack of help. That's a definite issue. It's come out now twice in this reading. I've been in Queen of Pentacles reverse. I've been, and it was with the Nine of Swords. This is like a deja vu. I practice. Oh, good. This is ending. Death card. The lack of resources. I slowly changed my mindsets, focused on appreciation, focused on what I can control and what I couldn't. Figured out what resources I had. And I made a leap of assumption that I've got everything that I need. I stopped focusing on the lack of resources, and I was like, well, I must have everything I need to start to face my fears and get out of a comfort zone. So I'm just going to start there. And I stopped focusing on, well, I don't have this and I don't have that. And instead I was like, well, that's not here and that's not here, so I must not need it. I can get started now. I can figure out what I do have and make that work. MacGyver it together and make it work. And it did. Slowly, I shifted my perception, and now I've got a belief I have everything that I need. And if I don't have it, then I don't need it. All right. Nice. Yes. Empress. Now we've got both the Emperor and Empress showing up. It feels like you're utilizing masculine energy. And then to walk away from something that's hard to walk away from. There's emotional attachments there, for sure. But with the Empress here, it's very creative energy, very healing. Be mindful to heal, take care of yourself. It feels like you're going through getting out of this comfort zone, using your masculine energy to detach from environments that are not for you. It feels like when you leave, there's a lot of disruption to be mindful of as you detach. It feels like this is tough because you don't have a lot of resources. But for feminine energy to show up, you need the baseline of safety in your base chakra, in that root chakra. So your sacral, feminine, creative energy has some stability. And I don't think you could create in this environment because it wasn't conducive to your safety and well-being. Having to protect yourself from the people in your environment is not safety that invites feminine creative energy, divine feminine energy. So it looks like you're utilizing your masculine energy to find safety, stability, security, getting that base chakra safe, and letting these other energies die down. Because it feels like there's people that have a lot to say about what you're doing. But it looks like you're not allowing them to affect you. There's a lot hidden. Ooh, star card reverse, moon card. Okay, be mindful of hopelessness, a lot of despair, hidden emotions. Ooh, moon card with star card reverse. Oh, ouch. Unprocessed emotions. hopelessness, despair. It feels like these emotions have been keeping you trapped, some unprocessed emotions from your unconscious, subconscious. What advice for the viewer? Let's change decks. Let's get you a full deck. What's the advice for, thank you, King of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Three of Wands reverse. Cut out what doesn't work and start planting seeds. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight of the deck, but he has all these fields, empty fields behind him, and pentacles are seeds. He's slow because he is planting seeds, planting all those fields behind him, nourishing, growing those fields, harvesting as he goes. And so it takes him longer. Don't worry about the time it takes. Start planting seeds. Start cultivating what you want. Yeah, it's going to take some time. And the best you can get, the fastest, not that it's a race, that you can get out of this energy and create stability for yourself so you can access your divine feminine energy. Things will get much easier and you'll be able to create once you feel safe, once your feminine energy feels safe to create. Take the time it takes. It feels like you're a lot closer than you think. You got to take action and try it out. I get the feeling that you can't see your path. This is very new. You're getting out of a comfort zone of what you know and trying something new. And it feels hopeless because it's different. It's new to you, new to your experience, maybe new to your soul. And so you can't see the full path. You just have to plant seeds along the way, cut out what doesn't work, and start making moves. So I'm going to do an extended reading. I'm going to go over to Patreon. There's a link in the description box below. It says extended reading here. And you follow that link and it takes you right to part 2, where I will be looking at health, relationships, creativity, new opportunities, and career and finance. So if you want to keep rolling with this reading, we're halfway through. I'll see you over on Patreon. If not, have an amazing rest of your week. Take care.